what we left in the previous class. So we have been studying about the half of the module is over in second module, and we have been discussing on attenuators. And attenuators, we know that they are passive devices and which has the mechanism to control the power, especially the transmitted signals are being absorbed here. You have two types of attenuators. They are called as fixed attenuator and variable attenuator. And the main film which takes care is the resistive film, which will be designed based on the requirement of the user. And if the resistive film is placed in the transmission line, as and when your requirement is there, you can block the signal, or you can make partial flow of the signal, or you can make the signal to get absorbed as per your requirement. So all these things are possible with the help of fixed and variable attenuators. So this is what we discussed about this attenuators till now. And we have also seen that there is a coaxial fixed attenuator which is placed in the center of the transmission line. And the main purpose of this coaxial fixed attenuator, the fixed attenuator completely blocks the signal. And we have also seen that there is some tapered edges at the corners of the resistive film. And the main purpose of the tapering which is at the corners is that to avoid the reflections, or to reduce the reflection. So this tapering has to be half of the wavelength, and this is what we have seen with respect to fixed attenuator. So in this is what we discussed in the previous class. As well as along with this, we have also seen one of the variable attenuator, and where you have seen that the variable attenuator has the ability to vary the resistive film. And you know that this is the resistive film. This part is the resistive film, and as and when you just move this portion, the resistive film has the ability to move up and down. So as and when the resistive film moves up and down, you can as per your requirement, you can adjust the entire process. So this thing is available in our lab. This attenuator is available, this variable attenuator is available in our lab. So when you have one of the experiment based on this as well, where you will be using a test bench experiment, where you will be using the attenuation, how when you apply the attenuation, how much when attenuation is applied, what is the output you're going to generate, and all those things. So this is the entire process what we come across. And then further moving on to this one more, we have one more variable attenuator. So we will just discuss upon that. So all of you can just uh, draw this diagram as well. This is another type of variable attenuator. So all of you draw this diagram for variable attenuator. The previous diagram you have already done it in the previous class. So we will start from this. It's a continuation of the same. So we are discussing about attenuators, fixed and variable attenuator. Fixed attenuator we have already told about, and now we are discussing about variable attenuator. So all of you draw this figure. You can see that this is the if you are passing the wave through this portion. And the wave travels inside, and you have a flip over here. So this is the resistive film. This flip what I have marked here is the resistive film. And this flip has, if you move the flip from the top, as and when you move it, the resistive film moves down, and you can make the necessary requirements, like you can vary the signal what is coming out of this finally. So that is the main role of having a variable one, that as and when you need, you can change the change the movement of the resistive film, and you can vary the signal absorptions at that resistive part. So we will see this. You draw this figure. So it's very much important to understand the attenuators. Attenuators, we usually give variable attenuator, explain attenuator, explain different types of attenuator. This type of questions usually come. And and precision type variable attenuator is there, which you are going to study in today's class further. So that is a definite question for your internals or externals. So you have to prepare those kind of questions and don't leave those kind of questions. So what I am saying you from the beginning, it's not like other subjects what we studied, control system or management or whatever it is. It is like the expected questions keeps repeating, and it will be easy for you to answer the first and second and third module. So if you are not scoring marks in this subject, it is only because of you are not studying. Rather than that, there cannot be any other reason to just skip off the marks in this subject. So make sure that you prepare yourself. Scoring above 80 out of 100 is pretty easy, and because it's all maybe some 4 5 numericals will be there in the entire question paper, and some around 8 to 8 derivations will be there, and 3 to 4 theory questions will be there. So this is will be the entire combination of your university examination. So how well you solve the problems and understand the concepts properly, you can score better. Okay, so you just draw this. You have completed this diagram.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we are going to discuss about this variable type attenuator, and the variable type attenuator. The main focus is that the, as I have told you, the moving resistive film, and that is what it is going to do here. We are going to adjust the resistive film as and when it is required. So this variable attenuator has moving resistive vane by means of micrometer screw. That's what we have seen in the previous diagram, the micrometer screw. And from one side of the narrow well and the center where, so this is already what I have explained you. And here where the E field, electric field is maximum or charging the depth of, so what it will do is it will absorb the signal as and when it is required for the user. Like you don't need so much of power to be transmitted to the other side, so you need to absorb. You have to increase the resistive film, and you have to just take care of attenuation process. So that is what you can see if you do the lab experiment. No, it will be pretty clear for you that how this signals gets absorbed, and what finally comes. You can see that the as and when you give more attenuation, the signal strength keeps decreasing. That is what it's available, and when we get an opportunity, we'll see that. So this is it will look like same as you have drawn before, the variable attenuator. So this is one thing, and the resistive, as I have told you that the resistive films are sharp at both the ends to avoid the reflection, and the attenuation which is possible by it is almost maximum 90 dB attenuation is possible with a VSWR of 1.05. So this is some points you can just understand about the variable attenuator. So you can just note down these points. So all the points are important. It's not like, so you just note down these things. We have to now see one more that is called as the precision variable attenuator. So we'll see that. So yesterday I have just sent you one link where the textbook, some part of the textbook is available here and there, which can be read online. Uh, so you can just see that if here and there once you can go through most of the topics what I have discussed in the notes, it is quite sufficient. If you want to just have a look on the textbook part of it, you can just go through it. Some pages here and there might be missing. but whatever is available, you can make a search by yourself as well. That is the textbook what we have to see. And one more textbook is Liao, that also you can see whether it is available to browse online. So you can try to just read those portions whichever is there in the syllabus. And if you find interesting, you can share that link in the group as well, so it will be helpful for others also. So you can just complete this. If it is over, just let me know that, okay? Further, we will be discussing on precision type variable attenuator. I want all of you to underline this. So this subject is like, if you study, you feel very interesting. It's very easy, and without studying, nobody can help you out. Any subject. So this is also like that. So just spend some time. It's like you attend the classes, you find it's all very easy. Otherwise, you find that this derivations, how it is done, you may have to spend some 5 to 10 hours extra if you are compromising this 1 hour of class. So, if you are capable enough, that is your abilities. That's not an issue. But as much as possible, listen to the classes and make sure that you understand the concepts, and it becomes easy for you. You're already in the comfort zone, and you don't exploit that too much. Okay, you can make use of some extra reading, you can study some extra topics, make use of the time. You are not traveling 1 hour, 1 hour, 2 hours traveling time is saved, so you can just utilize those 2 hours in some extra learning, which can help you for the upcoming placements and all. So many things it is required for you. The sixth semester, from fourth semester, I am saying you sixth is very critical semester, sixth and seventh semester in engineering. These 2 semesters decide whether you are in very reputed companies, or you are going to be just simply completing the degree, or what you are going to do further. So just have that vibration with you, and prepare properly. So if it is completed, let us go with the precision type variable attenuator.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just complete this explanation also with the that diagram. This diagram I am going to explain you. Okay. I'll just put that diagram. Just complete it. This one. So underline this precision type variable attenuator, and this precision type variable attenuator will have some of the components like circular waveguide, and it also contains very thin tapered resistive film, and it has three resistive cards R1, R2, and R3, and it is having a circular to rectangular waveguide as well. So we can call it as RC1 and RC2. This is the combination of the things what is available in a precision type variable attenuator. See what we have, you might have seen that most of the topics has one figure associated with it, or two figures. So it's mandatory that you need to draw those figures if it is asked in internals or externals. What students do is they don't practice the figures, and they take a lot of time drawing those figures in the exams. So please make sure that 1 or 2 times you practice those figures, so it will reduce your time consumption in the examination. Otherwise, It's all looks like 3D figures, and if it is not drawn properly, your figure will look something different. So you will keep rubbing and drawing. It will spoil your time. So make sure that you don't waste your time. So you just write this explanation. I'll go with the figure and explain you there once again. So here we are going to study about the precision type variable attenuator, where you have the combination of circular waveguide as well as rectangular waveguide, and you have thin resistive films. You have three resistive films, R1, R2 and R3. All these resistive films are placed within the rectangular and circular waveguides, and this helps in the attenuation process of a signal. So that is what we'll see. So all of you underline this precision type variable attenuator. So sometimes they ask you explain attenuator, explain different types of attenuator, and sometimes they precisely ask you explain precision type variable attenuator. Still, if precision type variable attenuator is asked, first one line you may have to just explain about the attenuator and then carry forward with the precision type attenuator. Is that completed, this explanation till here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us draw this figure. So try to draw it properly. So it's not difficult. Draw this portion, and then draw this one inside and take these lines further. So these lines, and then you can draw this section and this one. So draw this. So in microwave and antennas, figures will have some marks for that when you write in examination. So you should be careful while drawing the figures and don't miss any figures first of all. So is that completed? Okay, it will take some time.
No,
Once you complete it, you just let me know. Okay, draw that neatly. So one thing I want to just make you clear is this portion should look like a circular. Okay, circular type, this one. Other two are rectangular. So draw this figure. So all of you must draw this figure, even though you are in online class. You put this figure on the paper because this figure you are going to draw once again in another one more topic, and you need to practice this. You are going to draw for internals and externals. This figure will be a definite question. So precision type variable attenuator. I have not seen any university question paper missing out this question. So it is always a important one. So if you are going through the university question papers, you can just note down that some questions will be repeated some 10 times, 20 times, if you are, you can see that. So this syllabus is almost there from quite long time. Before it was in two different subjects, like microwave was a entire subject and antennas was another subject. Now they have merged it. So you can see any question paper related to this syllabus. If it is pretty old also, no problem. So once you complete it, just let me know that, then we'll proceed further. Is that over? Okay, you should tell me once it is completed. So this R1, R2 and R3, you can see these are the resistive films. You should draw sharp there, and you know why it is sharpened. I will explain it once again, the entire thing.
Done, sir.
Okay. So here we will see that there will be three directions here shown for you, that is X, Y, Z direction. So this is in the Z direction. We have drawn in the Z direction. So here the main thing is that this portion which I have shown, this one, and this portion which I have shown here, these are two rectangular waveguides, and the center one, this is a circular waveguide. So you have a rectangular waveguide followed by a circular waveguide and then a rectangular waveguide. Here the modes of operation is TE10 mode and TE11 mode. So TE10 mode is available at this portion. Then once it moves on to circular mode, it becomes TE11, and then further again moved on to TE10 mode of operation. Then you have here, this is what I have told you, this is RC1, so rectangular to circular, and this is RC2, that is circular to rectangular waveguide. So here you have three resistive film, R1, and you have R2, and you have R3. The final the signal is being given at the input at this point, and you're going to get the output this point. So finally what you're going to get the output is E sine square theta. So this is the output which is going to generate when the wave is being traveled from the precision type variable attenuator. You're going to get E sine square theta. So what it is going to happen here is you have one film here R1, another film here R2, and another film here R3. So this R1 and R2 is almost kept constant, like it will be kept at a particular angle, but this R2 has the ability to rotate. The resistive film R2 has the ability to rotate as how much angle you want. The theta can be decided by you, and this theta, what it is going to come here, this theta is going to here it is going to be theta, and this theta is going to get reflected here. So that is the same thing. What angle you are going to keep it, the resistive film, that angle is going to be reflected at this point theta. So your signal, what is going to come out in this direction, in the z direction, is depending on the value of theta, and this theta is decided by the resistive film R2, which is kept in the circular waveguide. So this is what, as and when you keep at a particular angle, the amount of signals being absorbed will change. So we have the electric field and magnetic field. So it gets absorbed when it is parallel, perpendicular, and all those things. So as and when the signal moves on through this direction, and when you have a combination of resistive films R1, R2, and R3, you finally end up with the final output as E sine square theta, and theta is entirely depending on the circular waveguide. This C represents the circular waveguide, and that is what it is going to be there. And one more thing what you have to understand here is all the resistive films are having sharp edges, and you know that why these sharp edges are there, in order to avoid the reflections. So this this resistive films has to be almost close to one wavelength or beyond, so that you can avoid the reflections. So that is what you're going to see here. The reflections will not be available because of the sharp edges of the resistive film. So this is all the explanation about this precision type variable attenuator, and we'll discuss these things in much detail further. All of you have completed this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is that clear for you? Is that clear for you? Once again, we'll discuss in the next
Yes, sir.
upcoming. Here again, we have this. So we have all these things. So we'll be discussing those things. Okay. So all of you have understood this, or once again, shall I explain? Is that clear for you? If it is clear, I'll move
Yes, sir.
further. Okay. So what very brief, some 5 points I'll tell, which you have to understand. Here there is a combination of uh, circular waveguide and rectangular waveguide. The first one is rectangular waveguide, followed by circular, then rectangular. You have different modes of operation, that is TE10 mode and TE11 mode. You have three resistive films, that is R1, R2, and R3, and the output of your uh, precision type variable is E sine square theta, and this precision type variable attenuator basically depends on the angle theta, which is in the which is the theta generated by the resistive film R2. So this is what it is, very critical points what you have to understand. And one more thing is that the resistive film R1 and R2 will be kept at a constant angle, but the resistive film R2 is having the flexibility to rotate in this circular waveguide, and it can be rotated at an angle theta, and this is the theta which is going to be at the output part of the signal, that is E sine square theta. So we'll discuss these things further. So all of you have completed this diagram, and the flow of signal is in z direction. So we will discuss these things further. So these three diagrams you can draw. So you can see that same thing here. The resistive film is kept here, and this resistive film is kept at an angle theta, and this resistive film is kept at this point. So you have R1, R2, and R3. So R1, R2, and R3 are tapered resistive cards. Here it might be drawn flat, but it should be sharp edges. Okay, you know that why, to avoid the reflections. So these things you can note down there. RC1 and RC2 is rectangular to circular waveguide. C is the circular waveguide. All these things I have told. The same thing here it is explained. So just mark as most important one. in this all these things. They usually ask this, and you have to draw that figure and these three figures and these explanations, all these things. It's nothing to do with much of derivations and all here. It's a pure theory concepts with figures involved in it. So it's easy to score for you in this topic. So don't miss all these topics for when you are studying. So all of you can complete that figure as, and whatever explanation I have told you, that circular waveguide is placed at the center, and you have that it can be rotated 360 degree. Okay, the resistor film R2. So once you once you read it, it will be clear for you. And one or two times you read means, by just studying the figures, you can write it in your own words. No, you will be able to write it. So what you can see here in this figure is, you have resistive film R1, R2 and R3. R1 and R3 is fixed resistive films, and R2 has the ability to rotate. So it has the ability to rotate to an angle theta, and theta is anything. It can be full 360 degree. It has having the ability to rotate. So in the circular waveguide, so when you have E sin theta and E cos theta, then you can see that finally the component E cos theta gets eliminated, and you finally end up with E sin square theta. That is the final output which is going to be there. So all these things you have to write it. So theta is the angle generated at the resistive card R2. Okay. So write all these things. You have drawn this figure. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Have you drawn this figure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can just note down this explanation also. I have already discussed all this explanation. So once again, I'll stress upon those things. So all these things you write down below to that figure: R1, R2, R3, RC1, RC2, and C. See, when you write it, you feel like you have studied that topic. Until and unless you put it in the paper, you will not feel like that topic you have studied. Okay, so that's the reason I want all of you to note down these things in the class itself. And simply sitting is of no use. So once you complete drawing that figure, you can just note down this explanation as well. We can see that the center is the circular section and the section, and it can be with a resistive card R2 is there, and which can be rotated by an angle of 360 degree with respect to the two fixed section of circular to rectangular waveguides. Then the induced current on the resistive card R2 due to incident signal is dissipated as heat. That's what I have told you, that if the signal is getting attenuated, so that energy is going to be lost in the form of heat. Okay, so that is the thing. And T10 wave in rectangular waveguide is converted to T11 mode in the circular waveguide. So a very thin tapered resistive card is placed perpendicular to the electric field at the center at the circular end, so that it has a negligible effect on the field perpendicular. So this is also important, this full line till here. This is very important, absorbs any component parallel. So here what you can see here, that I have told you that cos part is eliminated because it's kept parallel to that resistive film theta 2, and this one R2, and rest of the signal get further moved on, and you get it as sine square theta. So you finally get E sine square theta. So this is what card is placed perpendicular to the electric field at the circular end, so that it has the negligible effect on the fields perpendicular. So whichever field is perpendicular, it is having a negligible effect only, so it's not going to be counted, and but when it is parallel, it gets absorbed completely. That's the reason you are getting E sine square theta at the output. Can complete it. So all this topics you can see, you have to study these things. Okay. So we have covered almost 33% of the syllabus. So it's pretty good. So 33% means almost what is required to clear the paper. It's almost done. So you can sit and study and complete these topics, and you can feel confident about the subject. So if you have completed, we'll move on further. So that's what I have told you, the component E cos theta is parallel, and also that explanation is there further. So what you can understand here is the components parallel to the resistive film gets absorbed, and perpendicular has a negligible effect, and it moves on further. So we have three resistive film, R1, R2 and R3. The theta depending on R2 is going to impact the signal which is at the resistive film R2, and which is placed in the circular waveguide. So the resistive card at the center is kept at an angle theta relative to the electric field direction of T11 mode, and the component D cos theta parallel to get absorbed, and while the component D sin theta is transmitted further. the same thing you can just write it. So its explanation is pretty clear, and every point is being included, so it is easy for you to understand, and you need to practice those figures whatever you have drawn to draw it fast in the examinations. So one more thing I just wanted to add, that you may have a placement training for 2 hours in the next week, from 19th, I think it's being planned. So, uh, so 2 hours classes will go on. Only in between 2 hours you will be having training. So please do attend, because it's not for anyone, it's for you. And special care is being taken so that you get clear the placements and make use of the drives whatever comes in the college, and one also comes, you should be selected for that. That's the talent you should have. So how much ever drives comes to the institute, you have to, how many companies visit, you have to make sure that you clear. Most of the seniors are doing pretty good. Some of them, those who have prepared well, they are getting cleared. So all of you have completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then this also you can add on to that. So as we have seen, the resistive card at the center is kept at an angle theta relative to the E field and T1. So this is the component E cos theta parallel to the card get absorbed, while the component E sin theta is transmitted. This is very important when you write the answer, okay, without attenuation. So finally appears as electric field component E sin square theta. So attenuation is calculated as alpha, and it is given as E by E sin square theta, 1 by sin square theta, 1 by sin square theta. You can also write it as 1 by S21 here. It can also be written, alpha can be written as E 1 by sin square theta, or it can be 1 by S21 as well. So we just converted in logarithmic form. Alpha will be in dB. So it will be 20 minus 40 log sine theta, or minus 20 log S21. So these are very small equations to find out the attenuation. So these points are very important. Should not miss out these things while writing. Then we have, so I have told you that the attenuator's main application is like where you want less flow of signal, or the power has to be maintained, or you have a lot of reflections being taking place, and you don't want those signals that much power to be transmitted further. You need a variation in the signal strength and all those things. You go with attenuators. So, this all things you can write down. Attenuators is a function of theta only, and attenuator is so we have already discussed all these things. So theta, which is being getting varied at resistive film R2, is going to directly impact the signal at that output level. So if you have completed this, a little small, one small equation is left out in this topic to complete. Is that over? Okay, you completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all of you complete till here. All of you have done. Okay, 1 second. So one small equation is there, you can write. So you can just write down with symmetric S21 is equal to S12. So S21 is equal to S12 and S11 and S22 are 0. Since this is the equation VSWR minus 1 divided by VSWR plus 1 should be less than 0.1. So this S matrix you can write it. So finally you can write this S matrix that is S matrix is equal to 0 S sine square theta and 0. So further we will be discussing on phase shifters in the next class. So we'll discuss that phase shifters in the upcoming class. So all of you have completed. So this is all about precision type variable attenuator. You are able to see the equation, right? Matrix S is equal to 0 sine square theta and 0. All of you have completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will wind up for today here, and we will just move on with rest of the things in the next class. So if you have it's all clear for you. Any doubts are there? It's all clear. Precision type variable attenuator is clear for all of you. Just tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will stop here, and meanwhile you can submit